Well, hello there. Simon Patrickov here. This is a recorded audio for research 13.1 Homeostasis. Homeostasis refers to the ability of biological system to maintain internal stability and balance in response to changes in the external environment. This homeostatic balance is achieved through a variety of physiological and biochemical processes that help regulate essential functions such as body temperature, blood glucose levels, and pH balance. The body's ability to maintain homeostasis is vital for optimal functioning and overall health. There are two types of factors of the internal environment: physical factor and chemical factor. The physical factors of the internal environment include temperature, oxygen levels, pH levels, nutrient availability, osmolarity. Meanwhile, the chemical factors of the internal environment include the concentration of specific molecules such as hormones, neurotransmitters, electrolytes, as well as waste products like carbon dioxide and metabolic byproducts. These factors are constantly being monitored and regulated by the body's physiological system to maintain homeostasis. Now, let's acknowledge the organ system involved in maintaining an optimal internal environment. The organ system involved are nervous system, endocrine system, cardiovascular system, respiratory system, venous system, gastrointestinal system. These organ systems work together to regulate and maintain essential functions such as temperature, fluid, electrolyte balance, oxygen and pH levels, and nutrient absorption and metabolism. That was mouthful. Anyways, first we're gonna be looking at the regulation of body temperature by effectors through two methods, which is physical methods and chemical methods. Body temperature is regulated and maintained within a specific range through a combination of physical methods and behavioral methods. Physical methods involve the contraction and relaxation of muscles, which generate or dissipate heat to modify the body's thermal state. When the body is too cold, specialized muscle tissues can be contracted to generate heat. This process, known as shivering, involves the rapid contraction and relaxation of muscles, which help to raise the body's core temperature. That is through physical methods. What about chemical methods? Body temperature is also regulated through chemical methods, which involve the release of chemicals like hormones to stimulate or inhibit specific physiological processes. When the body is too warm, the pituitary gland in the brain releases a hormone called antidiuretic hormone. ADH increases water absorption in the kidneys, reducing the amount of water lost through sweat and thus help to lower body temperature. Additionally, certain hormones secreted by the thyroid and adrenal glands can also affect body temperature by adjusting the rate of cellular metabolism and heat production. Now, before we get into the next segment, I'll be inviting a guest to join us on our research. Meet an alternate version of myself.
Well, hello there. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Winter King.
It's been a while, friend. Now, can you explain about the regulation of blood sugar level?
Sure thing, mate. The regulation of blood sugar levels, glucose, is crucial for maintaining optimal metabolic function. The hormone insulin is primarily responsible for regulating blood sugar levels. Insulin is secreted by the pancreas in response to increased blood sugar levels, usually after a meal or carbohydrate intake. Insulin then triggers cells in the liver, muscle, and fat tissue to take up glucose from the bloodstream and either store it for nutritional use or use it for energy. This process helps lower blood glucose levels and maintain them within a healthy range.
Wow, thanks for the explanation, Winter King.
Yeah, well, it's no problem, my dear friend, but it looks like I have some unfinished business I need to take care of. See you later. Goodbye, mate.
See you later. Alright, where were we? Oh, right. Next up, we're gonna be looking at the regulation of partial pressure of carbon dioxide in the blood. The regulation of partial pressure of carbon dioxide in the blood is achieved through the control of ventilation. The primary organ involved in PSO2 regulation is the lungs and respiratory system. When the concentration of carbon dioxide in the blood rises, specialized nerve and receptors in the brainstem detect this increase and signal the respiratory center to increase the rate and depth of breathing. Lastly, we're going to be looking at the blood pressure regulation mechanism. Blood pressure, which is the force of blood against the walls of blood vessels, is maintained within a healthy range through several physiological mechanisms. The regulation of blood pressure involves the coordination of the heart, blood vessels, and nervous system. In response to changes in blood pressure, specialized receptors in the walls of blood vessels called baroreceptors detect changes in blood flow and tension. These receptors send signals to the brain, which then triggers appropriate responses to regulate blood pressure back to its optimal range. With that said, our research has come to an end. But before we part ways, let's recap what we have learned with some questions, shall we? Listen carefully. I'll ask some questions, and if you got the answers, raise your hand and Hasif will choose you to answer. And note that correct answers will be rewarded. Ready? State the physical factor of the internal environment. State the chemical factor of the internal environment. State the organ system involved in maintaining an optimal internal environment.
It's no problem, my dear friend.
Ice Wizard. So you have risen again. In olden days, I would have rewarded your insolence with death 1,000-fold.
However, it has to happen. I wish for the power to keep Simon safe.
Is that what it was like? I stood by and allowed you to sacrifice yourself for me, even though part of me should have known better. Like that day at the bus stop.
No, we made our choices. We could have made better ones, but I don't have any regrets. You were a wonderful experience.
Oh, Betty. You were everything.
You were a wonderful experience.
You were everything.